Where do you find the inspiration for the names of your characters in your books?
You mean I can't just call them all William?
Not again, no.
No. It gets harder because the more I'm into the books and the more books I've written, the more I'm trying not to duplicate names. It's tougher. I use a lot of online names. Usually there's a theme. So in the Heir to the Crown books, generally speaking, those are English-sounding names. In the Continental books, which is, of course, the Frozen Flame is a little different. I'll get into that in a sec. In Power Ascending, I tend to use Germanic names. For the Frozen Flame, Natalia's side of the story, more or less, is based on Russian, or lately I've been using Ukrainian names to get some variety in there, but also more Eastern European. And for Athgar, the Thuringian people basically use Saxon names of various descriptions, or Germanic, and sometimes other nationalities will come in. So I mentioned Calabrians, they're essentially Portuguese. Ilea, I think I use some Italian names. I just would go on the internet and look, give me a list of Italian names, I would pick one, for example, and that's how I came up with it. Some of them were just from fantasy name generators.
And you tend to take a name and then spell it slightly different to make it more fantasy?
Yes, that's particularly noticeable with things like the names of the orcs. Orcs were actually quite challenging in the beginning because there's not a lot of orcs named in various stories, and if they do have names, they're not all the most fantastic names to begin with. So kind of came up with phonetic rules, if you will, for using them. So you'll see a lot of AHK or UHKs in there, or KH, to make it look a little more unusual.